Apparently, David Haye had a freak accident, and apparently, when he had this freak accident, he was doing some type of conditioning, stair conditioning session, as he calls it, and he lost his footing and he fell and he grabbed onto the banister to stop himself from falling, and he managed to tear his bicep. So this is the fake story that David Haye's going out saying that because he had this supposedly freak incident and now his bicep has been torn. This is why he has to pull out of the Tony Bellew fight that they were going to fight this December. It's all nonsense, guys. If you guys believe that, if you guys honestly believe that, you're very gullible. You're very gullible, and maybe you don't know David Haye's history. Now, David Haye, the real reason David Haye faked this injury is because he didn't want to receive another thorough ass whooping against Tony Bellew again, because that's what was going to happen. David Haye is shot. He's been shot for years. He's washed up. He's like 39 years old. He's old, and he's shot. And he would have gotten destroyed by Tony Bellew. He knows this. And this is why he pulled out. You know, David Haye is a guy that I don't know how you guys in the UK aren't sick and tired of his lies. You know, David Haye is a guy who's pulled out in like at least 10 times. You know, I've been watching David Haye since I was a teenager, and this guy has pulled out several times. I remember when I was so excited when David Haye was set to fight Tyson Fury. I was so excited. I wanted to see that fight. And you know what? You want to know what happened? David Haye pulled out twice. That's right. You remember they were going to set to fight in September. David Haye pulled out. Then they were going to set to fight in November. This was way back in 2013. So he pulled out in September, like a week before he was going to fight Tyson Fury, because he knew Tyson Fury would have beat his ass. Then he was going to set to fight Tyson Fury again in November, and he pulled out again. And if you remember, like, I believe in the first time he fought, the first time he pulled out, he was saying like, oh, he got a cut, and he showed a picture of a fake net cut, you know, on the top of his eyebrow. Then the second one was a bicep tear too, I believe. Complete nonsense. He knew Tyson Fury would have beaten him, and trust me, Tyson Fury would have beaten David Haye. Same scenario here. David Haye knows that Tony Bellew has his number, and he doesn't want to lose to Tony Bellew again. I have a feeling this fight's probably never going to happen. Tony Bellew and David Haye will never fight. This is why I don't really take David Haye seriously. You know, when he came back after, you know, defeating Derek Chisora after like a couple of years, he was fighting nothing but bums, and all these fans were acting like he was back when he wasn't. He was fighting nothing but bums, and then he fights a guy who actually has some ambition in him, and he got the crap beat out of him. And what's embarrassing about that is Tony Bellew wasn't even that good. It's not like Tony Bellew was an elite cruiserweight. It's not. I mean, I've never been really impressed with Tony Bellew. Tony Bellew is one of those guys that really gets lucky and stuff, you know, because he tries so hard that he gets lucky and he ends up winning, you know, but he's never really had talent like that. So when he lost to Tony Bellew, that was very embarrassing for him. That was very embarrassing for David Haye, because he wasn't supposed to lose to Tony Bellew. A lot of people thought that was a mismatch. A lot of people said that was a cherry-pick fight, and he lost to Tony Bellew. So that was very embarrassing on his behalf. And I'm pretty sure he knows when he loses to Tony Bellew, had he gone through with the fight like a man, he would have, you know, this is what would have happened. It would have been the same result, and his career would have been indefinitely over. So yeah, David Haye's just lying, guys. Don't buy it.